Hey everyone, what's going on? It is the first episode here of Spencer'sSOULset. And if you haven't guessed it already, today the thing I want to talk about is all about love. Love has always been a very important factor in my life, a very important element of my life. It is pretty much 95% of who I am. It is all I care about and consume, and everything in my world is how to give love, how to receive love, how to spread love in the world. Love, to me, has a few different um, stages to it, or I like to think of it in three different tiers. So there's the love you have for your family, either blood or otherwise surrogate family. There's the love you have for your friends, and there's the love you have for your lover, your partner, your soulmate. And they all can be very different, but they also can be very similar at the same time. Because I do believe that you can be in love with someone that is a very close friend. I believe that you can be in love with a family member. I believe that I believe it's possible to be in love with those people. Now, being in love with these type of people is not the same as being in love with your soulmate. When you're in love with your mom, say, it just means you have so much love for her. You would do anything and everything to have her around. You would give your last breath for her. You would go to the ends of the earth for her. And when you are in love with your soulmate or your lover, it is pretty much the same element. It's just that that is someone that you're not biologically related to, and you share a physical attraction with. You share an emotional connection, different from that of your mom or your family members. And they came into your life at a later point, and had to learn about you, and you learned about each other, and you realized how connected you are spiritually and emotionally and all of that. So it's a very different take on being in love when you're in love with a family member or a friend versus being in love with your soulmate. Every single day, I am thinking about love. I'm trying to put it out there. I may not express it verbally, but I'm just always trying to express love and happiness and joy for those that mean everything to me, those that mean the world. Let's talk about when you are in love with someone. When you think that you've fallen in love with someone that you're not biologically related to, you had an attraction to them, you got to know them, and you feel as though you fell in love with them. You feel as though they are supposed to be your soulmate. You feel that in your heart and in your soul and in your gut and everything. But it's a tricky thing because oftentimes, you might be the only one that feels that way. Whereas the other person enjoys you, enjoys your company, but they don't see you in that way. They may even have love for you, but there's a difference between having love and being in love. Like I have plenty of people I have love for. It just means that you care for them deeply. You just want to be a good friend and a good presence in their life, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'd go to the ends of the earth for them because you're not in love with them. They're not your everything. They're something very important and very special in your life, but they're not your everything. They're not your be all and end all as your soulmate would be. But the hard part about, finding that person and then realizing, hey, they just don't feel the same way, I've dealt with that a million times. I'm someone who I tend to generate my feelings of love or what I think are feelings of love very, very quickly. And, they come to the forefront and I'm just like, bam, I feel this for this person, and it's like, and at first, for me, in all of my experiences, both of me and this other person, we're on the same page. We're on the same page, we both feel it, and it's electrifying and it's great. And then, they spend a couple more months with me, even a couple more weeks, maybe even a couple more days. It doesn't take people that long. But they get to a point where they think, wow, Spencer told me he comes on strong. Spencer told me he feels very quickly. And I think they just kind of didn't believe it. They're kind of like, he's saying it, but I don't think anyone's ever going to come on that strong. And then they get to know me and they realize, wow, he's not kidding. He does come on that strong. And it's a little overwhelming and it scares the crap out of them. They're just like, what are you doing? We literally just met. There's just something in me where I always feel like if my gut and my heart are telling me that something is serendipitous, that it's working out, and those feelings are genuine, or you'd like them to develop into genuine feelings and you really want to pursue that, it kind of I kind of take infatuation and I mold it into a form of what I think is love, even though in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't really know if this is love, but I want to believe that it's real love so much that I'm building it up in my head and I'm thinking, yeah, this is how I feel, and I know they feel like I noticed it when they looked at me this way at dinner, or I noticed that, and it's like they haven't said anything, they haven't expressed those opinions or those feelings or those, emotions. I'm building it up in my head. I build up an entire relationship or even a persona. Like, I get to know someone for a couple weeks or something, and they seem to be everything I want. And so when things might turn, or I might start to learn a little bit more of their truer colors as we continue to get to know each other, my head still wants to remain in that fantasy. And I kind of stay there. I see what's going on and I recognize it and I see, oh, what's going on here? I didn't realize this about this person. But I kind of just brush it off and I'm like, no, because I remember when they treated me this way and that way, and that is what I zero in on and I focus on, and I'm like, they have to, they're this person. Like, they're not this other person where I'm learning all this, like, not so good stuff about them. Like, it's just a part of who they are, but I'm not a huge focus. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. I don't, because who they are is this amazing person that I've been building in my head all this time. When the whole time, these people are exactly who they were from day one, but in my head I've built them into being something else, and I've created this feeling of love. So it's a falsehood. It's a false love, and it's not healthy, and it's something that I always do, and it's always something I'm going to struggle with. From relationship to relationship. I think for me, it's this. It's that I want that so bad. I want that fairy tale love so bad, and I'm willing to build it in my head. Literally, even if the other person is saying, I'm not ready, or I'm not good for you because this is going on, if they're telling me that in words, like flat to my face, and I'm saying, oh, I understand, I get it, yeah, I totally get it, that's what's coming out of my mouth, but in my head I'm like, they'll come around, they'll change, it'll take a few more weeks, it'll take a couple months, it'll be fine, we'll be back to where we were. But I have this other side to me where I feel as though when I'm getting to know someone, if they're not willing to accept me for exactly who I am, with every little flaw that I have and every little difficulty that I present, which I'm not gonna lie is quite a few of them, because I'm pretty multi-layered emotionally. I'm very driven by my emotions, and I do expect a lot out of someone pretty much right out of the gate. Which is why things, don't work that well for me, because who likes that? They want to take it casually, they want to get to know me, they don't want to feel pressure to, like, jump right in. And I see that side, and people just, they don't get that I see that, and I understand it, but I do. But at the same time, I am sitting there, I'm like, well, I'm not willing to alter myself, because altering myself makes me feel like I'm fake. It makes me feel like I'm lying to you, or lying to, whoever's in the situation. But most people out there want a best friend. They want someone that they can, laugh with and joke with and connect with before the emotional part and before the relationship side of it comes in. And to be truthfully honest, I want that too, so bad. I'm just very impatient and I'm not willing to wait for, all this time, because I feel like if we don't know where something's going within a couple of months, we need to figure out what the next step is. Because for me, the longer it goes on and the longer someone leads you on and the longer someone says, let's just do this, keep this casual and do this, by the time they finally decided Spencer is not for me, or this person that I'm seeing is not for me, I, or the other person on the other end, has developed all these feelings that they've been holding inside and harboring because the other person has said they don't want to express any of those deep feelings, and then someone gets hurt. So I'd rather lay all the chips out on the table from the very beginning and just say, hey, this is how I am. I express all my feelings and all my emotions and everything all at once. And, if they're not freaked out by it and they're, intrigued or maybe even impressed that I'm that open with who I am right off the bat, then we can continue on. And then I kind of know, like, I don't have to worry about them running. Because even if it doesn't work out, they're going to hang out for a few more weeks or a couple months and just see if this really is right. If it doesn't work out in the end, great. But, at least it would end in a way that would be, mutually respectable and no one would end up hurt. Because, we both knew what we were getting into from the beginning. I like to let people know this is who I am and this is what you're getting into. And I'm driven by my passions for love and my desire for love, my desire to give love and receive love and spread love to those that I feel need it. I know that I kind of have taken love now in the context of relationships, but it has been a large factor in my life since I've been single the last several years, is relating love to relationships and to your soulmate and to, the person you're going to end up with. Which is why I kind of have gone off now on this tangent about love and relationships. But love just makes you do incredibly crazy things. And sometimes they turn out wonderfully and sometimes they screw everything up. And you're left wondering, what was the lesson here? How has this affected me and how have I changed because of what I just went through? So the best advice that I can come up with to give you guys about love is, I don't have all the answers. I certainly am not a love guru, but I do know that no matter what love does to you, whether it makes you feel like the most amazing thing in the world has happened to you and nothing can be better, or whether it's hurt you, whether it's done both, which for any of us and all of us, it probably has, just never stop believing in love and the power of love and how special that is and how rare that is. And remember always to give love and spread love every single day. I love you guys. Follow me on Twitter at Spencer'sPaulD and follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/smallscreenbound. Also, these videos are up on my YouTube channel. Follow me and support me, like, comment, share, all of that. I really appreciate all your feedback and your support. I love all of you. I will see you in the next episode of Spencer'sSOULset. Have a good night, guys.